and welcome. I'm Esther Buerki, the author of Living Without Fear and the co-publisher of the Amazon best-selling Inspired Journeys. Get in touch with me if you want to start living without fear or even writing your book. And please share this podcast with a friend who you know needs to hear this episode. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, write a short review and rate it on your favorite podcast platform with a lot of stars if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your support. This truly means a lot to me. And today I'd like to share with you the experience I had with my swimming race the past weekend. If you know me a bit, you also know that swimming is important to me for my mental health. While swimming, I can release tension and I get into a flow state where I can let go all my challenging thoughts and feelings. You may have something else what puts you in this state. If you haven't found some kind of sports or other occupation which helps you to empty your head from your thoughts, I really recommend you start looking for something. This is so important for your well-being. So last weekend, I swam together with a lot of young people who were over 45 years younger than me. I already knew in advance that I will be the oldest female participant for the 3K and 5K race, which are 1.8 and 3.1 miles in open water. And I already felt proud of myself that I dared to participate. But when I started on Saturday, together with over 100 women, the 3K race in the Lake of Constance. And when I realized that the distance to the other swimmers got bigger and bigger, and I was the only one at the very end, I felt demotivated. And what often happens with me, I feel ashamed. In that moment, I felt ashamed and I saw myself through the eyes of the viewers watching the competition from the land and who were probably asking themselves, who is this slow and ridiculous swimmer at the very end of the route? But then a paddle boat arrived at my side and I saw that this man wanted to talk to me. This made me feel even more insecure. I didn't want to lose more time and I didn't want to stop swimming so that I could listen to him. So I shouted, "I cannot understand you," and continued swimming. But then I heard his message. He told me to keep always close to his paddle boat. And I understood that he will be guiding me because sometimes it was difficult to recognize the orange buoy to head towards it. I relaxed and I started concentrating on my breath and my arms and pulse. And I started telling myself, "You're doing great. You're so courageous. You are the oldest woman in this competition. And you show up for yourself. You won't give up." I started coaching myself in my head. And I tried to enjoy the race as much as possible. And maybe you realize the difference between the beginning and the continuation. At the beginning, I was looking at myself from the outside and felt miserable and ashamed because I criticized me from the outside. But then I started feeling again myself. I looked at me from the inside. I was with myself. I was with my body and mind. And this is what makes a huge difference. I finished the race 6 minutes after the second last one. A woman who is more than 20 years younger than me. And I felt so happy and content. And you know what? The biggest surprise was that I received my first gold medal for it. And I stood on the podium because I was the only one in my age group. This was on day one. But the most important thing for me happened on day 2 during the 5K or 3.1 miles race. As I knew from the day before, I didn't let the frustration come up at the very beginning when everybody was swimming far away from me. I didn't look at myself from the outside anymore and felt ashamed. From the very beginning, I told myself, I'm so proud of you, Esther. You tried the 5K and have won already because you're here and you give your best. We had to swim 4 rounds in the lake of 1.25K. The first 2 rounds weren't easy for me. It was raining, it was cold, and there was some current. And I was afraid that I got so cold that I could not finish what happened to me 2 years ago, where I had to give up after the 3rd round. But suddenly, on the 3rd round, I felt getting into the flow. My arms and hands were paddling, and it felt as if it went effortlessly. Feelings of joy flooded my body. And one of my swimming mates, she's the fastest one, passed me. She has a funny way of swimming. Her style is unique, and everyone recognizes her from far because of it. When she passed me, it looked like a butterfly who flew over the water. And this picture made me so happy because I also felt so light and joyful as she did. And during the last round, I even had the strength to increase my speed. After 2 hours and 1 minute, I reached the finish line. I thanked the organization crew on the platform for letting me finish this race as the last one. But they told me, you are not the last one. There is still another swimmer in the water. It was one of my male swimming colleagues, 10 years younger than me, and I didn't even see him when I passed him. So at the end, I didn't only feel happy and content, but also proud of my wonderful performance. What I was telling you now about my race, you can use this for every other thing you do in life. It's crucial how you show up for yourself, how you treat yourself, and how you feel about yourself. You can manage your state. Only you can do this. Only you can be your best coach in those moments where you have nobody around. And these moments happen very often because you can be in the middle of a crowd of people and you still can be with yourself and elevate your state. Or I also think during the day, there are so many moments when we are alone with our thoughts and feelings. Try to listen then how you talk to yourself. Are you your best coach you can ever be, or are you putting yourself down many times? Watch yourself. This is so important for your mental health. I've been in psychotherapy for many years, but I didn't learn this there. I learned it a few years ago from Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker. And since then, I constantly check in with myself and I make sure that I treat myself as best as I can. And I'm for myself the most caring and loving mother I've never had. Thank you, dear listener, for spending your precious time with me and being open to learn how to be the most loving friend to yourself. And I cannot repeat it enough. In case you feel worthless today and nobody seems to like you, I tell you, you are amazing. I love you, and you are a gift to everyone who crosses your path. And please tell yourself these sentences over and over again. Have an amazing day and talk to you next week.